Update: I slept with another woman while me and my wife were separated. I told my wife yesterday. Her reaction broke my heart. I wish she was the kind of person who would get angry at me, throw me out, do something vengeful like tell everyone we know what I did, but instead she's the sort to think, what did I do wrong? At first. Basically, I sat her down after we put the kids to bed and I told her that I needed to tell her something and that it wasn't good, and it was the worst choice I ever made in my life and that I was so sorry. Now that I understand the gravity of what I did and I feel that I've come back to myself, I spend all my time thinking about what I did and how disgusting it was. I remember during our engagement my wife being very insecure about my past relationships and history as she had gone along with Arab culture and waited for marriage. She told me she didn't feel special as everything I had done with her I had done with another woman. I told that she was special because no other woman could have convinced me to get married and have kids, and that she managed to get me to move to Palestine, leave my job, give up alcohol, spend 3 months being interrogated by her father, when I had never even gotten to the meet the parent stage in any other relationship, all before she even knew anything about my feelings for her. I told her that although she wouldn't be the first, she would be my last. Over time I began to share her view on doing the dirty and felt regretful that I had not waited for marriage either. Doing the dirty is how our children came into this world, doing the dirty is the way we connect and show our love for each other. It is between me and my wife. And I did that with another woman after. I can't believe I did that. Over the last few months I have been thinking over this constantly. I'm in a constant state of regret. And the guilt of knowing that keeping it from my wife was a sign of disrespect was eating at me. I knew she would be confused as to why I had kept it from her in the first place. I didn't really have answer for that apart from the fact I was too excited at the prospect of her taking me back that I didn't want to sabotage it with something I knew would destroy her idea of me. I told her about my past with this woman, how I met her again, the dates we went on, every gut-wrenching detail. I spared nothing, apart from details of the actual night, as advised by people here on Reddit. As I kept going on I could see the color draining from her face. At first she seemed confused why all of a sudden, while she was waiting for the washing machine to finish, she was getting this story dumped on her. By the end she was softly sobbing, and obviously when I tried to hug her she pushed me away. The image of her facial expressions last night will be forever ingrained in my memory. I have done some awful things and hurt many people, but breaking the heart of the only person who ever saw good in me despite all my childhood and adolescent mess-ups, the only person who has loved me so deeply and the person I love so much, is the worst thing I have ever done. Last night when the washing machine ended and she got up to sort it out, my youngest son, who is 4 years old, was up to drink water, saw her crying and went up to her and started hugging her and telling her to stop crying. Instead of going back to bed he came to the bedroom to tell me that Mama was crying and to go hug her. I wanted to unalive in that moment, because if he ever knew what I did, or any of children knew, they would hate me for hurting their mother. She slept next to me and all I heard throughout the night was her crying, and I spent the night in agony over every sniffle I heard, debating whether to brave it and touch her or remind her of my regret and tell her I love her. She sent me a message this morning while I was at work, basically telling me to not touch her or try to talk to her for a few weeks as she needed time to process everything, and that tonight when I got home she wanted an opportunity to ask questions and to see the entire messages between me and the woman. I told her that this was okay with me as the recent text messages would reflect everything I had told her. However, I did not feel that she should read the earlier messages, as it does not tell her anything she doesn't know but will incredibly hurt her. She said she didn't care what I thought. Fair enough. The questions she asked were mainly about the woman and also about the night off. She wanted to know excruciating details like if it held her afterwards. Anyway, the last question was the one that broke me. She asked me if I had ever thought of her at any point. She said, 20 years together, did you think of me while you ate with another woman, while you laughed with her, kissed her, slept with her? I didn't know that to say. I told her how the only reason I left was because of hearing her voice on the phone. Anyway, I don't know what to do. I don't know if she will ever be able to get past this, and I can't say I blame her.